Can I get a hit? Man. Oh, you didn't think I could hold it that long, did you? You didn't think I could hold a note that long, huh?
I guess not.
Yeah, wow. I surprised even Boston Bea, if you can imagine that. Jules is here. Doesn't look like a lot of people are here to see this live chat, but what the hell? We're going to do the damn thing. Anyway, hi, Jules. Oh, Val Hallaw's here. Okay, yeah. Oh, you're not going to, I thought you had, oh boy. I thought you were joining us, Val, but yeah, absolutely. You can chill in the chat if you don't want to be on. Val has a link to join us if she so chooses. And yeah, we'll get into it, but I figure since you're hot off the presses with the Kelsey Fitsimmons fundraiser that Mazda Media is running, maybe you could get us caught up on that to start with.
Yes, so we're waiting on the SJC. There is some hope that she'll be out by Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
The full panel, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you? Okay, yes, the full panel, yes. Use your big words. Use your words. Anyways, so we're hoping to have a decision by then. We just had Brother Counsel on. Hi,
Martin
Debbie Blair.
Radner,
yes,
Detroit's own.
yes.
Hi, Debbie Blair.
And he's very, very confident that the SJC is going to see right through this case. And hi again, Debbie. So he's very confident that the SJC, the full panel, will see, and hopefully she'll be out by Christmas. That is the hope, and that is what we're praying for. And yes, Martin is very confident.
He's awesome. I mean, when he presented that to Alan Jackson a couple of weeks ago on their live that they did together on the great Brother Counsel show that I think everybody should subscribe to, because it is a way to get the maximum amount of information. If if you don't have like all day, like you can't listen to, and this is no dig on Melanie Little. She's a brilliant broadcaster and analyst and lawyer. But if you don't have, that much time and you want to get the most context, right, Bea? Even you go to Brother Counsel.
I do. Because I do care what he has to say, and sometimes he points out things. I will say there is something for everyone. So I think Brother Counsel during the day when he does his live streams, he doesn't really speak a lot. But then again, you have your option of going to Melanie Little. When she sees something, she stops it and she pieces it together as you're going along. So her commentary is kind of going along with what's happening. So I must say there is definitely something for everyone. I do care what Brother Counsel, and I'll go back and listen to Peter Trago's The Lawyer You Know for a recap. Again, everybody, even the different attorneys watching it, see different things happening, and they kind of just help put everything together. And that's one of the things I complimented him on tonight was those, recaps that he does. And he says he does it specifically for that purpose, for people that are working all day long and just want a highlight of what happened today. So,
well, that's the thing. So let's say you were a mom and you still had kids at home where you had to look after them. You had to cook dinner. You had to drive them to sports. You were working all day outside the home. You can't do Melanie Little. You don't have 6 hours to listen to Melanie. I mean, you physically don't have it. The time. Right. So that's where Brother Counsel might come in. Now, if you're working from home or you're retired or something like that, where you have the time, well, by all means, I mean, it's great. It's great company.
Absolutely.
We're on Boston at Shotzi. What? John Camo is messaging me. He says we're on.
Oh, they had actually, I just remembered. Yeah, they are at
The
the
hockey
game
game.
tonight, the hockey game, the Bruins.
All
Yep.
right. Oh, okay. So Canton Chronicle is at the game. It's at the game
Yes, at
tonight.
the Bruins
So
game.
that's great. John doing great things. We had asked him to pop on and preview Canton Chronicle, but the fact is there won't be a Canton Chronicle.
I guess not.
So there's that. Is there anything else happening in the case, or we're just really at a standstill waiting
At a
for that?
standstill, waiting for that. They had a hearing. Let me try to think. What day is today? They had a hearing end of last week, I believe. And that's the one where she was held, she had the male judge who wouldn't let her sit at the defense table. They made her stand behind the plexiglass. And, very, very sad. I think
Like
they
she's a
said,
hardened criminal with a violent record. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And Bradle asked if she could come over to the defense table, and he was told, if I do it for her, I'm going to have to do it for everybody else. So the answer was no. She just it broke my heart to see her, behind that plexiglass, because she's being treated like she's this criminal. And if we break it down and we believe her side of the story, this was a woman who had a child, got postpartum depression, sought help for it, was cleared to return back to work. Things didn't work out with her fiance, which is fine. And then she was shot. And
he was on a dating app, which is not
right,
fine.
right.
Telling his girlfriend that, hey, I'm not going to be able to talk to you for 3 months. Hi, KS Granny. Welcome. I have two questions for you,
I'm
Bea,
talking
about this.
just to break down the actual case of what's happening to her. Forget about her relationship status and what happened with that. But essentially, her being at home, breastfeeding her child, and get to knock at the door with a restraining order to take the baby away. And at that moment, she was losing everything, her career, her job, her child, and, if you believe her side, she wanted to take her own life, and somehow she wound up shot, being airlifted to Mass General Hospital, spent 53 days in fighting for her life. And now, because after being shot, she can't blow into a scram device that's very hard and very painful.
I have two
Yeah.
questions for you based on this. Based on everything you've said and all the heartache that she suffered, that I think people are pretty familiar with. First question is do you think that she will continue her law enforcement career after she gets past this?
Well, I don't know if, if she's found not guilty. I also know that I think she will become some kind, if I was to guess, right? Obviously, I don't know her personally. I would say that she's going to become some kind of advocate, because
Hi,
the
Nan.
problem. Hi. I
Nan
think
Gallagher.
I think she's going to become some kind of advocate, because I think the injustice that she has gone through, who better to help those that need help than someone who's gone through this and been wrongfully, um, you know,
That was going to be my
wrongful.
next question
Yeah.
is how do you think it will affect the way she enforces law if she becomes
That's
again?
right.
But
I don't think she'll, and again, we obviously don't know her. We're just hypothesizing here. I
Right.
don't think she'll go back to just being a police officer. I think she's going to want to be some kind of advocate, for those that have been wrongfully, because she did originally before. It's been said that before going into law enforcement, she was in law school for a year before she changed. So who knows if she'll get back to doing something in studying law after this. But whatever it is, I just think this is, no new mother should have to experience what she has experienced. And, relationships end, and people still have, custody of their children. You've seen cases where, somebody might fallen on hard times and become addicted to drugs or alcohol or whatever. And there's usually a plan to reunite, the child with its mother. But this, you know, this action that her ex-fiance has done is just very much, to take custody, to take everything away. Oh boy.
The teapot. That's good.
Oh, yes. I think Nan has some tea.
There's a question from Positive Pathways here, which I think is a question that we actually covered. So Amy's Positive Pathways says, is there another lawsuit from another female police officer against the same police department? The answer is yes. And we actually covered this on CAB. We read those lawsuits. In addition, there was a police, so these are against the chief and the department, basically. And then there was a police officer with the Salem University Police Department, Salem State University Police Department, who left after he was named in a lawsuit for sexual harassment. I'm trying to remember what his name is. This jackass was hired by the same department as Kelsey. So they've added to that culture where we seem to see cultural issues with some of these Massachusetts police departments. They seem to hire like their own, the people that are of the same ilk. So the answer is yes. It was rumored, but we spent a day doing research, maybe 2 days doing research. We got I think someone sent it to me, right?
It was that lady,
True crime.
Wasn't it that lady?
Truth Seeker sent me all this information, the court filings by this young lady, Indian American young lady who went to school at Salem State. She joined as a dispatcher, and then her goal was to become a uniformed officer. And she faced multiple incidences of sexual harassment in the department, including from very, very senior officials. There you go. Look at that. I think you did say hi, but we'll take it. We'll take it nonetheless. Nan Gallagher's here. The legend Dennis Sweeney is here. Our new colleague here, Amber, who was on with us last week to talk about the Jason Veach case.
Yep.
She and her partner, Deirdre, have done an amazing job for the widow of Jason Veach, Kara Veach. And in fact, I just got email I've got more stuff. I think I forwarded you some things last night that I got from a friend of Kara's. So lots and lots of stuff. They are very, very upset with what happened with this biker. And just to give you guys a really quick overview, and we can let Bea give you her take on it. Essentially, this guy was killed by people trying to restrain him in a biker bar in Florida, in the New Smyrna beach area. He was killed by people sitting on top of him so he couldn't breathe. So think like George Floyd, think Eric Garner, etc. And they were just like, okay, well, I guess he's dead. It's okay.
But he was also struck by an axe.
Well, yeah, he was assaulted, but I mean, he didn't die from the axe blow. He died from asphyxiation from people sitting on top of him. So yes, it's true. And what Bea is going to tell you about the axe, go ahead and talk about that, about the patron and what he did. Jay.
Right. I mean, I don't know how much you want to go back and forth, but I mean, I think it's important to note that he was originally at one bar. He was about to he left one bar to go to another bar. At the second bar, that they had called the cops on a noise complaint. And when the officer approached the outdoor barman, he pointed over to Jason and said, "This man is intoxicated." And the cop was more worried about, she was there for the noise disturbance. And then she goes up to Jason. He's sitting on his bike. The lights are on in his bike. And she says, being outdoors, that she could smell the alcohol. And she starts saying, she asked him a couple of questions and just walked away. And at that point, again, being outdoors, smelling liquor on somebody just from talking to them just goes to show you that, he was intoxicated. And instead of calling it in and asking for somebody to come, before this man drives off, because he's sitting on the bike, looks like he was about to take off, then she could have called in another, she could have called in to the station so they can send an officer to deal with him or ask him to stay. Or she just was like, whatever, and walked away. He then goes back to the original bar where he was sitting there. I guess he had some words with the bartender, and this man sitting, the bartender asked the patron for assistance. He goes out to his car to get an axe, and then he strikes him with it, and somehow, obviously knocks him over. And then that's where you picked up the story. But the problem that I have with this case is that if the original officer would have taken action, because if this man's intoxicated, sitting on his bike with the lights on, it's dark outside, she could have prevented the sequence of events that transpired. Obviously, somebody who's heavily intoxicated, you can't just reason with them. So she had the opportunity to have somebody call somebody out for help, so this man is not on the road being a risk to himself or others. And that's, again, where, the sequence, the dominoes just fell, and it's unfortunate. And the man who struck him, he hasn't been held accountable. So,
well, I mean, long story short, 20 minutes prior at the bar, had they even done a field sobriety test, because his intention was to ride home on his bike, which is why he had the lights on. And she told him, don't ride the bike home. And she's like, have someone else ride it. So she's having a back and forth. He was being a smart ass with her. So she could have called for backup and said, stay right there. We're going to do a field sobriety test on you. Waited for backup, and then she might have been able to at least detain him, or at least tell him, you're not leaving with this bike. You better call somebody to come and get you, which at that point he would have called Kara. When that didn't happen, what Amber and her mates have told us, and by the way, you can find these guys, they do Twitter Spaces. It's called True Crime DNA, Deirdre and Amber, and I think they're going to do a YouTube channel as well. But right now, they'll do their cases on Twitter Spaces. So with that, they struck Jason, I believe, when he was seated. Now, was he being loud and obnoxious and saying stupid things? I'm the toughest Republican in this bar. Yes, he was. But the thing is, this wasn't an axe handle. This was a, no kidding, axe. Like, they hit him with an axe and cut him. But I believe he was seated. The man, let me see. The man wasn't carrying the axe. He wasn't carrying it. He went out to his car, came back into the bar. By the way, they had no security and no bouncer. They had no security and no bouncer. So now the bartender, because this guy has a loud mouth, is asking other patrons to restrain him and to throw him out. And in doing so, they killed him. And the police just came. They cuff the guy. The guy has already passed away. He's dead. They cuff him. They don't figure out, they don't even know how to check that he's alive right away, because he looked like a total idiot. Doesn't even check that the guy's alive, cuffs him, figures out he's dead, and then nobody's charged at all criminally. They're just like, well, it's okay. And
here's the second missed opportunity. When he returned back to the original bar, if they felt that he was heavily intoxicated and they wanted to cut him off and he was being a wise guy, again, why didn't they call the police and have him? You don't send a patron who's also been drinking to handle things. You should either have security at your bar or a bouncer, some type form of security to deal with these situations, or pick up the phone and call the police before you ask another patron at the bar to take matters into his own hands. That should have been between the bar, the bartender and Jason, not getting somebody else involved. Just
That's right.
too many missed opportunities. They could have, Yeah, they cuffed somebody who had passed and also
Yes.
put him on his back and was doing CPR with his hands cuffed
Yeah.
behind him.
Yeah, they roll him over. This moron roll. First of all, there's no need to cuff the guy when the guy's laying there and they're
And
saying,
just
"Hey,
for
bud,
clarity, when you're referring to
when the
the
guy
moron, you
when the
mean
guy
the officer. Just for clarity.
when the guy's laying there and they're like, hey buddy, and he's not responding, you have to establish that what is the condition of this person before you even put cuffs on him. There's somebody laying on him and by the way, this is all on body camera, so you can see this. Yeah, he's saying that she did call the police. Yeah, but that didn't, it didn't matter. They didn't, if that was the case, then they could have just let him sit there until the police came. They didn't need to get other patrons involved because as it turns out, one of those patrons might go out to their car and get a weapon. And that's exactly what happened. So they're cuffing him. He's in a prone position, laying on his stomach. He looked like Larry Bird during the 1988 season, lying in a prone position at courtside. And then they're cuffing him, and then they're rolling him over, trying to do CPR as he's cuffed, and nobody there. Clearly, there's like 3 or 4 guys who know a little bit of CPR. The officer hadn't been through training since he was at the academy. This was an absolute shit show. Absolute shit show. Like it can't be a whole lot worse than this. That's how dumb this whole thing looked. It was awful. It was awful. So they didn't hold anybody to account. And we think it's because, he's a biker and he's a loudmouth. And because he was saying, I'm the toughest guy in here. Oh, well, then we don't need to hold anybody accountable. It's okay.
And again, obviously what Amber's saying, there's no reason to escalate with a deadly weapon. Exactly. And you certainly don't, have a patron do that. This
is exactly what I said with the CPR every 2 years. Exactly right. Exactly. I do mine every 2 years. This is exactly what the thing is like with Raul Valley. He went and he grabbed a knife with a bunch of kids, and now all of a sudden, there are people fighting, but fisticuffs are fisticuffs. Once you go get a knife and you stab people, that is a deadly weapon that can kill you. Of course, your fists can too, but your fists are not considered a deadly weapon. We're not talking about Bruce Lee here.
So, and the thing is too, he was found, he was face down, laying face down. And instead of checking for a pulse when the man was clearly not moving, he first, even though he wasn't moving, he cuffs him first and then checks for, minutes later or whatever, a minute later, checks for the pulse before he starts doing, before he turns him over to do CPR. So it was almost like, he was at that point down and not a threat. Shouldn't he have checked for a pulse first before you spend the time to cuff him?
Before doing anything.
Exactly.
If you can't communicate with the guy, there's no reason to cuff him. You don't know anything yet. So first, hey buddy, hello, hey, what's your name? Just try to establish what is going on with this individual who's laying on the floor like that and not moving. Like this officer is like mentally incapacitated himself. Right. In Florida, officers are not required to recertify every 2 years after initial academy training. Well, how can you be a first responder if you can't fucking do CPR?
Right.
Like, what if that was a woman and she was holding her baby, and the woman, is laying there not breathing? What are you going to say? Oh, we'll call EMS. Yeah, they're dead by then. Come on. Let me see here. What do we got from Jules? Jules is saying never declared a crime scene. No attempt to separate and question witnesses. Let people come and go. That's exactly right, Julie. They did not establish a crime scene. People walked away from that case like nobody's business.
And the axe man had already left by the time. So after he struck Jason, he left.
It's okay, Scott. It's all right, Scott. Do what you got to do. You got football. You got Christmas stuff. I totally get it, man. It's all good.
Did you hear what I said? That by the time.
Sorry.
No, I know you weren't paying attention. No, but I also.
Hey, I can't read the chat. I mean, Scott said something funny.
I'm just no, I know.
Go ahead.
I don't think you heard what my point was. Is that by the time the police after the axe man struck Jason, he left.
Yes.
And the police, arrived and he wasn't even there.
Yeah, that's kind of like, this is what I was reading with Jules' point right there. That was included in that one right there. Were you listening?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, that's what she's saying, is that people were allowed to come, go. There was no crime scene. That's, hey, everybody, because that's usually what the police do. Hey, who saw this? Who's involved? Who touched him? You stay right here. I want you guys sitting right over there on those stools. Don't move. That kind of thing. They didn't do any of that stuff, and then they covered their ass. And it's all just because, it was okay. No, that's all good, Amber. We appreciate it. I got a message from, who is this young lady we got a message from? This is somebody you probably know. Shira Wild. Do you know Shira?
No.
No, I mean her.
I
know. Yeah, I sent you her emails though.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you just got a message.
I mean, Amba, do you know Shira Wild? She messaged us stuff about the case, more photos. You can see where the axe struck the bar. So they must have been trying to intimidate him at first, and then he stood up, and who knows what happened. Yeah, Brother Scott is here. The Bears are just coming back, and now the Packers scored. Oh my God, what's going on there in the Midwest with the Bears and the Packers? Jeez. And should have closed the bar at that. Yes, you're right. I know. People are like, at that point, like the bar, there's still music, and it's bizarre. It is a bizarre case. Dennis saying hi to his good friend and fellow standout warrior, Scotty.
Hi, Dennis. Right. Hi, Scotty.
Yep, Scotty boy. That's what you usually call him.
Scotty boy, yes.
I thought all the police needed CPR. I don't understand how you... I mean, it's so easy. Like, you send a group of officers over to the fire department, and then the fire department gives you CPR class, and they sign your shit off. I mean, we're not talking rocket science here.
And the CPR, and the thing is that so much changes. The last time I did a CPR training, it's hands only CPR, and he just kept counting to 30, taking breaks. I mean, he wasn't doing it properly. But
well, you can do the breaths, but I don't know. It started around COVID that you don't have to do the rescue breaths.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
I'm gonna do them myself if I, unless.
No,
unless there's like fungus growing around.
But first responders do have a mouth guard that they carry around with them.
That's true.
But can I also make another point? I don't think you really heard me. What I was saying, hands only CPR, you're supposed to keep pumping. You're supposed to do it continuously. And he was doing it as in 30 pumps and then stopping, but then wasn't given the rescue breath. So he should have just kept pumping. Hands only CPR, you just keep pressing is my point.
Yep.
So what I'm saying, what we witnessed in that video was done wrong is what I'm saying. For somebody who wasn't doing it with the rescue breaths, he was doing it wrong.
Yes.
And again, because so much changes. Exactly. Because if you got certified even 5 years ago, it's different. And that is my point. Things changes.
Where you place your hands, the way you interlace your fingers like this. You want to put the heel of the palm on the sternum. You want to extend your arms so that your triceps are not involved. So it's the weight of you. I mean, you can break ribs when you're not a professional doing this. And they did everything wrong. They basically, and he's letting the civilians do it. So yeah. It's
like
terrible.
I was told, if you're not breaking ribs, you're not doing it strong enough. Like you need to, you should be breaking ribs to actually do CPR properly.
Shira, I got to get a hold of Shira. Shira's husband was also effed over by police. Kara connected with her. Okay, yeah, I need to respond back to her and find out what happened with her situation. So thank you for letting me know that. I also have to carry oh yes, I think that's
Narcan. Yeah.
Is that the actual
no,
it's just the actual mouth guard thing?
No, that's not what that is. Narcan is when somebody ODs and you give them those that's for OD.
Oh, okay.
Overdosing. Yeah.
All right. The rhythm is sung, staying alive. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I just took this like right around a year ago when I started teaching over at the base. Shira's husband was killed. That's another story. Yeah, I will definitely get a hold of her and find out what happened and get into that. Oh boy. We're not going to be out of cases to cover anytime soon, and that's a bad thing. That's actually a bad thing.
Right.
Karen Reed. So we can go over to some Karen Reed now. What do you have for Karen Reed? I think I got a Ted Daniels story, so let me bring that up, and then we can.
You did some homework.
I did a little bit of homework, mate. There we go.
Copy, dude.
So, all right. Go here. And it's so funny. One of the McAlberts is like, "Hey, Ted Daniel, you gonna say you're sorry when it turns out you were wrong?" It's like, yeah, I don't think he's gonna have to say sorry since she was already acquitted, douchebag.
Exactly.
Yeah. That and the fact that I don't think he got those dog bites out in the snow. So pretty much Chloe should be able to explain this if she could talk. All right, here we go. This is Ted Daniel from Boston 25 News. Thank you very much, folks.
New legal battle is brewing over former state trooper Michael Proctor's phone data. Investigative reporter Ted Daniel joins us live to break it all down. And Ted, this one involves Karen Reed and the Norfolk District Attorney's Office.
Yeah, familiar foes, Mark. As we've been reporting, John O'Keefe's family is suing Karen Reed for O'Keefe's death. Reed's defense is that Michael Proctor and others framed her. Her lawyers claim that new data from Proctor's phone could help them prove that.
No nudes so far.
No nudes so far, correct?
Correct.
Reed already has some of Proctor's texts from the federal investigation of her case, but she doesn't have any of the data the Norfolk DA's office recently pulled from the cloud. Reed's team has filed a motion to force the DA's office to turn that data over, arguing there is no reason to believe that the previously identified damning messages are the only ones of their kind. The DA's office is pushing back, calling the demand overbroad and unduly burdensome. The DA's office says the new data is restricted to other cases Proctor worked and contains massive amounts of highly personal information that has nothing to do with Reed or her case.
Reed's team argues that Proctor dropped his appeal to get his job back because of this new phone data. Her lawyers theorize the new data is relevant and potentially explosive. It's going to be up to a judge to decide if it ever comes out. I'm investigative reporter Ted Daniel for your local station, Boston 25 News.
So the question here, hi, rocker chick, welcome. Oh, we should do the song for her. Oh, Canada. Welcome. Uh-oh, let me cut this off because it's still playing in the background. All right, so I think I'm curious if we have Val still here. I don't think Nan is still here. But if you are, I'd love to know about a special master. And that would have to be an independent person. The reason I bring this up is because what Norfolk County would do is they would go through his phone and they could block Karen's defense team from seeing things that are significant, that are relevant to their case. And things that are embarrassing. So I wouldn't trust them. I would want a special. Oh, hi, Nan. What do you think, Nan, about a special master going over? And I'm using that term. That term may be more of a congressional when there's a congressional issue than a legal issue, but some sort of a special master where they could go over the entire forensic original copy of the phone.
Okay, so that's called the taint team here.
Well, a taint team is
that's
them.
What they use.
Yeah, a taint team though is them. A special master is independent. So that's what I'm talking about. Well, somebody who's independent, who's not associated with the state police or the Commonwealth whatsoever. So what do you guys think about? Hi, Jen. Welcome. What do you think about that, Nan? Do you think a special master or somebody like that would be appropriate to determine what is sort of what's relevant to Karen's case rather than sort of the Commonwealth deciding? Because I know anything that Proctor said that's embarrassing, which is probably significant, they would want to, they'd be like, Oh, he made racist comments. Oh, that's not relevant. Let's get rid of that. You know, anything that would be embarrassing because he was one of them, which, okay, special master is a neutral appointed. Oh, here it is. Thank you. Lawfario official attorney from New York and New Jersey, and maybe of Massachusetts here shortly, Nan Gallagher. A special master is a neutral appointed third party to review and analyze data. This is separate from a taint team. It's a good idea to utilize one. Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. I think that they should call for that because I don't trust the Commonwealth. I don't think you do either.
No.
Here's what's very ironic about this, Bea. What's ironic about this very, very situation we're talking about right now is they would want to avoid embarrassing things that are on Proctor's phone that the public would see and associate with the Massachusetts State Police. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That is why you fucking fire people like that. And then you go in front of the news media and you stand in front of a dais and you say, we fired this person, and you show a photo of them so that you disassociate scum with this police agency that we all previously come to love and respect. That is why you do that. That is why you don't cover up. So people disassociate scum like Proctor that are not real ethical, moral police officers that will commit criminal activities, and you disassociate them from the department so that the people remaining are people that you can look like this and go, I'm proud to serve with that guy or that gal. I am proud to serve with them. You don't want people on your team that are dishonest because then that reflects on the agency. Dummy Jeff Noble, that's why you get rid of them. Not just Proctor, your sacrificial lamb. You want to spill the blood and then offer the gods, you know, this decanter of blood from Proctor. You want to get rid of all of them that are like that. Hi, Joanna.
Hi, bestie.
All right, Bea, go ahead. Rant is complete.
Well, so here's the thing. Now pay attention. So Miles King also they also got information on the Miles King from Proctor's phones. And Scapiccio this week confirmed that there is racist comments on Proctor's phone. So the problem is that, you know, obviously innocent until proven guilty, but you have somebody that likely that is on trial or is heading to trial, and you have things like this where Proctor is sending messages about you know, their suspect. And again, it's the behavior that's been allowed to go on. It's taking cases like this to bring all this to light, and they've gotten away with it for years.
And yes, and that's why you have to get rid of these people so that the good people look good. Like for me, I've told you this in my career. I don't want to serve with anyone that really sucks at what we were doing, because when people see them, then it reflects on all of us. I want to serve with the best of the best.
Right.
And I want to hold myself to that standard. The problem is that these guys don't hold standard. They go, oh, exactly. Yeah. Power plus force equals corruption. And drain the cesspool. It's a systemic problem because they're talking about Connor Keefe and his embarrassing testimony in the Walsh case. Right. Exactly. Like, get rid of the schmucks and the shitheads and line these guys up and go, we are going to be going by the book. We are going to be treating people this way. We are going to use force that is commensurate with the situation, and we're going to keep the best of you. And if you don't follow what are in these books, what we taught you at the academy, not what some loser, you know, some guy that we had here 10 years ago that sucks, you're going to follow what we taught you, or you're going to be out of here. That's how this is going to go. And that's what Jeff Noble hasn't done.
Right.
He needs to make an example of these guys. He should be having an IA investigation, and IA should be tearing this Karen Reed thing apart.
Right.
They should, but the problem is now we're 2 years down the road. He should have done this when he took over for Jack Mon. This is like, you just can't believe that this is happening. This is why Karen Reed's case is so damn important.
Right.
You know, there are people out there saying, oh, her case isn't important anymore, she's free. That's bullshit. This is very important because if Karen Reed wins these civil suits, even though they're not going to be held criminally liable, people are going to look at those cases. Other agencies will look at those cases at what's come out. They're not going to have mommy. They're not going to, mommy, protect me. Don't let Alan Jackson ask me tough question because I don't want to.
Right. And this also goes hand in hand with the fact that Morrissey has been in office for too long. Right now, he's up for re-election. And even when Lally was being questioned up on the stand, when he had to take the stand I believe when they had to do with the getting Proctor's text messages, and he was being questioned about the search warrants, he was like, I just follow, I have 1.5 search warrants. And she's like, well, don't you have, how do you keep a tickler system? How do you, and it's just like, and again, it's not doing things the way it's always been done for 20 years, and they have no oversight. These prosecutors are just doing their own thing, and nobody is being held accountable. So hopefully with, the election coming up next year, they put a new DA in office. I'm sorry, not DA. What do you call it? What's Morrissey? Sorry.
DA. He is
DA.
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
With the new DA in office, hopefully they can clean up this whole. Adam Deitch.
That's it.
Let's hope that he needs to come in and just set controls in place like every job has. And you can't just let your assistant DAs just run free and have no, like you're sitting up there. How embarrassing. I have 1.5 search warrants out of 6. And years later, like that's like, at least say you have 2, like 1.5. Like, what is that? Crazy.
Yeah. That is the part where that's the part of the sloppy police work. And said, didn't IA look into Proctor early on before the text, when it was just conflict of interest? That is a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I have never seen anything about an IA investigation into Proctor ever.
Yes. So they did.
If
they
that
did.
is, I would like to see it. I have not seen
Okay,
anything.
So yes. So that was televised. When he went up for his hearing to get his job back, they had the witness that was up on the stand was the one who did the IA investigation, not up on the stand. It was like that was for trying to get his job back. They questioned him, and there were certain things that, he investigated that he felt that he had done that, and other things that they didn't. But yes, they did do an IA investigation on Proctor.
That's so this kind of leads into what, I think I remember now. They testified in front of the civil service hearing.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
So what? This is what I think KS Granny here is saying is that that they may be in on it to the extent that they didn't look at all the faulty police work that he did,
right?
In furtherance of exculpating the Alberts. That they just wanted to get him on the unprofessional stuff.
Correct.
The text messages.
And that is what they focused on.
And that, you know what? You might be right. IA may be dirty, because I have heard in other police cases as well that IA is dirty. And I think that that's probably the case, that has something to do with why we're here. But that is part and parcel of, if I'm Jeff Noble, I'm coming in and I'm saying, what did you guys do? Show me what you did in this case. And saying, wait a minute, he didn't take photos of the friggin' car? Why?
Right.
Why didn't he take photos of the car? I don't know. I mean, it was just, okay. All right. So Canton recused himself from the investigation. Why didn't the car come to a Mass State Police Sally Port?
Right.
Why did it go to
would you
Canton?
bring it to the same town that recused himself?
Yeah. Why did that happen? Hey, boss, I don't know. That was the decision was made. Who made that decision?
Right.
Well, I don't know. Well, I want to know who made that decision, or I'm going to start firing people until I'm going to start suspending people till we get to who made that decision. Why was it not taken? What did Alan Jackson say? They passed 3 Mass State Police Sally Ports?
From Dighton to Canton.
From Dighton to Canton to take it to Canton. So why did that happen? Why didn't they? Okay, I got another question for you, IA. Why didn't they secure the crime scene? I don't know, boss. Wait a minute. You're saying that nobody roped off the crime scene? There was a dead officer there at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. He's taken away and the crime scene was left unsecure. Is that what you're telling me? Why? I want to know why. You're saying that's good. Okay. Did they go and talk to the occupants of the home? Did they do some sort of search of the home? Did they get a search warrant? No, boss. They didn't get a search. What?
Did they separate the
search
witness?
the home where he was found? Go ahead.
All right.
Bea.
Let me add to this. They didn't record the interviews. They didn't separate the witnesses. They didn't bring them down to the station to get their official reports. I mean, you can go on and on.
Go ahead.
You use solo
Rant
cups
on that
to
one,
collect
Bea.
evidence.
Pretend like you're Jeff Noble asking about to see the interview tapes from the interview room. Go ahead.
Let's see the interview tapes. Where are they?
But we didn't do interviews.
Oh, okay. And where are the reports? And why did you misspell names? And why did you
You're blown that on the mind that they didn't have everybody come down the station and do an independent interview.
Right. Separate the witnesses. You allowed them to sit there and do a timeline together?
Yes.
Why?
Well, these guys, this guy, he's, officer from Boston. Come on, man. Come on.
This should
here's another one. Here's another one.
Yeah, it's true. Solo cups, Stop and Shop bags. We could go on and on.
Let me see the crime
They
scene.
used the leaf
Let me see
blower.
photos of the crime scene. Let me see what you guys did.
They use the
No
leaf
photos.
blower
Here
to
goes
blow
Chaos
away
Granny.
everything.
Yeah, as it turns out, I know I want to freak everybody out here. So I want everybody that's in the chat right now, I want you all to sit down. All right? Because I don't want you to all of a sudden stumble and fall over. Okay? As it turns out, despite what you've seen on all the crime shows, right? Especially in England, anywhere in the United Kingdom, they are wearing the full bunny suit, the hood, the gloves, goggles, and they're wearing the booty, the full bunny suit. Despite what you've seen, okay, that it's a great idea to take a backpack blower and to blow stuff at the crime scene. I know that's going to freak you out, right? Are you surprised that that's a great idea? It's a new technique. They're going to be teaching it at the FBI Academy. They're going to teach all their agents now what they're going to do in the FBI, those SUVs. They're all going to have a backpack blower. And what they're going to do is when they come out to a crime scene, they're going to start the blower and they're going to blow around the scene. And then later on, that's when they'll have a team come in and try to gather evidence. Is everybody sitting down? I hope nobody got hurt. All right, here we go. No. Okay, so we're going to get to you, Amy, right there. So Val saying they didn't mark. It is unbelievable, right. Jules. They didn't even interview some of them for months. Right, yes. Exactly.
And some a year later.
And never in the police station. So if I'm Colonel Noble, Jeff, I'm wanting to see those interview room tapes, and there aren't any.
Right.
No measurements at the crime scene of anything.
Oh.
Right. It was just Trooper Proctor. He got the turban on. He looked like Johnny Carson playing Karnak on the Tonight Show. All right. And here we go. This is going to get serious. Amy's positive pathway says, when I was in my 20s, my boyfriend died in police custody. I didn't know that. The bald state police. Wait a minute. Is that a reference to me? The bald state police asked to search my place. He died with them, not me. Back then, I didn't know any better. I let them search. Wow, Amy, we've met you in person. I didn't know this story. You've been in our chat many, many times, and I didn't know this story. So I'm really sorry to hear that. Please call me anytime and tell me what that story was, what happened.
She's saying that it's about MSP. They're all bald. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So myself and yeah. I mean, look at what you call it? What's his name? Yuri looks like a KGB agent to me. Totally. 100%. Yeah. No evidence bags or chain of custody.
Right.
Buckle up. It's okay. And yeah. This is a new listener, MITKS77. Uh-oh. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, baby. One of the best schools in the United States of America. So congratulations on that, my friend. It is a new technique, yes, to use the backpack blower. It's brilliant. They're teaching this at law enforcement academies across the world now. I'm laying in my bed, so I'm good. All right, MSP are innovators. Yeah, they also introduced the drive-by evidence.
Seriously.
Oh my God. I'm surprised I don't have like a metal detector that works on plastic. You know, see Berkowitz out there like having beep, 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 beep in the Albert's driveway. That's amazing. Or Albert's yard. Wow. In distribution. What else do we got? It's not about the Okay, yeah, I got that. Don't forget carrying evidence around for weeks.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, did any of these jackasses watch the OJ trial? Dennis Fung was taken apart on the stand by Barry Scheck. Those of you who have heard on the Innocence Project that was started by Barry Scheck many years ago. He was the youngest lawyer in the OJ trial. He's the eldest lawyer now around. He's great. And Barry Scheck tore Dennis Fung apart for carrying evidence around in the trunk of his police car. Where do you think Proctor carried the evidence bags? In the trunk of his police car with things getting intermingled together because he had multiple things in the bag. I mean, but again, that was all meant, you know, they wanted to get pieces of taillight on John's shirt. Like, we're so stupid, we can't figure out that you could just take some of the taillight, smash it with a hammer, right? And then just rub it into the sleeve, the right sleeve of his shirt. We would have never figured that out. That's how you guys are so smart. You fooled us. You really did, Proctor. We had no idea how the taillight got there. Because we know you smashed it at the Canton Sallyport, and we couldn't figure out how the taillight could possibly get in the shirt. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you just take some and you go like that, and then you take a plastic bag and you sprinkle it, and then you kind of go like that. It's a really neat trick. It's amazing.
So here's something I want to... Hi, Pepper.
Hey! I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what I was going to also add is that, this week during the Brian Walsh case, right, the medical examiner who wasn't Irene Scortibello was another one. It was a gentleman, and he was saying that when they do autopsies, they also review the clothing that the decedent was wearing, because there's certain evidence on there that they go and, you know, that they review. Mm-hmm. So in Anna Walsh's case, because they have found, obviously this is a no body case, and he had been called out to review some of her items of clothing so they called a medical examiner who normally examines deceased people to review the clothing that had been found in the different dumpsters to see, what evidence they can gather from the clothing. My question, again, Proctor was the lead investigator. They already said it at court during this trial, that Proctor was the lead investigator on the Brian Walsh case. So my question is, why did the MSP collect the clothing from the hospital and not sent it over with the medical examiner when they did their examination?
I don't know.
So why was it different? So again, when you start to now compare when they've done a better job, even though they did have some sloppiness in the Walsh case, they have done things like where Celebrate actually told them what area of the dumpsters at his mom, what dumpsters they went to. But yet for the Karen Reed case, Celebrate was wrong.
No Celebrate. No.
So it's like when you start to see the different, when you start to see the differences in the way they've handled the investigation, it just goes more to they're incompetent, sloppy, they're corrupt, because in other cases there was a chain of custody for the clothing, and they showed the log. It's like, oh wait, they actually have logs. So it's like all the things that they had to do that they didn't do
screw over Karen Reed. They had to make sure nothing was documented. That's why I say this was a brilliant investigation on the MSP part, because first of all, because they got away with it. And second of all, they had to do things wrong in order to inculpate Karen and to exculpate the Alberts. And they were so brilliant in doing that. They really were. But the fact is that that's what IA and that's what you, Jeff Noble, are supposed to be on top of. That's why you were brought in and why they let Jack Munn go. But you could just say, oh, well, we brought in a new colonel and things are going to change around here. Well, let's start with this case. And believe me, I'm sure there's many out there. Like we say, Karen Reed was very lucky. She had money. She had resources. She hired great lawyers. She's white. She has money. She has a lot of things that work very well from her. There's probably a lot of victims out there that didn't have this, and therefore they're in jail, and nobody's looking at their case.
Right. So, and then in the Walsh case, they interviewed him and recorded the interviews and actually played them in court. It was very long. It took a long time to get through them, but they actually played the interviews of where he's going on and on, knowing he had done what he had done because he's already pleaded guilty to disposing of a corpse, improper disposal of a corpse. So, while he's going on and on, they're recording him and they actually played it in court.
No, continue.
No. You just, no. So, I mean, just the differences. It's crazy. So we know they get it. They can do it right when they want to. And we know that they just look the other way when they don't want to. And it's unfortunate that somebody's life and liberty was on the line. And and they took notes. Yep, everything. It's crazy.
This really is one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard of. And that's why this civil case is so important, because up to now, the Alberts and the McAlberts, and included in the McAlberts, I include all the officers. So as far as I'm concerned, Fanning's a McAlbert, watching over the jury, Tully's a McAlbert, Yuri's a McAlbert, Proctor's a McAlbert. He made himself a McAlbert. So they're all McAlberts. Mike Morrissey is a McAlbert. McLaughlin is a McAlbert. There's no exculpatory evidence here. Colleen Crawford, Mike's cousin, is a McAlbert. So they're all, thank you, Nan. We appreciate it. Look at that. Got so much love in the chat. You guys are really awesome, man. We are so lucky and so blessed to have you. We are thankful every time I know the two girls from the Bronx right here, Nan and Pepper. Yeah. Go Bronx, New York. We talk about you guys all the time. We're very, very thankful for you. We do have something big coming up. We can't tell you what it is yet, but we're working hard on this, believe me. And we'll tell you as soon as we can. What do you think? Maybe, I would say in a week we can start talking about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Bronx in the house, yo. In about a week we can start talking about what we got coming up, but we do have something big. But that's why this civil trial is so important, because they've gotten away with it. The only way that we can shine that light on them, because Jeff Noble didn't do his job, IA underneath him didn't do their job, the court system didn't do their job, because Judge Bev tried to get Karen in every possible. She tried to let in absolutely as little as she could, and made them take the hard road. Made her witnesses come back and forth to Massachusetts. Didn't work hard enough to try to get testimony in one day when they had hearings and so forth. So we using the whole game. Exactly right. Using the whole game. So we absolutely. Where's Kevin Albert? That is a great question. He's probably collecting that paycheck. These guys make a lot of money there. He's making more than professors at MIT. He's making more than me. Probably twice what I make, or more. 3 times what I make, based on what I saw what Rafferty and some of those guys make. So we really, really need the civil trial to support Karen and make sure that this is the only way we're going to be able to shed light on get actual real testimony out there. And then maybe charges can come later. I don't know if anything can be proven. Maybe this is the only way. Maybe just her getting money will be the only way to do this. And then her starting some sort of an innocence project and hiring lawyers if she ends up making enough money. Who knows? But up to now, we've got no, there's no job. We haven't seen any justice. What's your closing thoughts, Bea?
My closing thoughts is, we just need to keep shining a light on this, keep highlighting why this is so important, and that the fight continues. We know that she's not going to jail. She was acquitted, but there's still a big fight ahead, and it's no easy undertaking.
It's not. It's going to be huge. There's going to be a lot of lawyers. Experts are going to have to be paid. And what people don't understand, even if there's someone who decides they're going to do it pro bono, and we have no information that anybody is working pro bono in this case, because Alan Jackson he has other cases in California, and Liza Little as well, who's back for this. There's plane tickets, there's per diem, food, all that kind of stuff, rental vehicles, the whole 9 yards. It's very, very expensive for somebody who, by the way, isn't working. And how the hell are you going to go and get a job now? Hi, I'm Karen Reed. I'm here to be are you going to go to Price Waterhouse or something and go, hey, yeah, I'd like to get a job. Just imagine what that interview looks like. Imagine hey, look who's here. What's up, Marky Mark? Hey, man, we got a show out for Dean College after the fire, brother. I just made a donation today. Yeah. Nice.
But what I was going to say, even if they are working pro bono, there are certain expenses like flying them in, putting them up in hotels.
Did you just miss that I just said that?
Oh, I'm just saying, there's more. I'm sorry.
That's exactly
I didn't realize
what I just said. Yeah. I said there's
even
plane
if they're
tickets,
doing it.
There's per diem, there's hotels, there's food. Yes.
Correct.
All of that stuff is still expensive. And I don't know that they're working pro bono. And by the way, it's not only Eliza Little, there's also Damon Seligson. There's other lawyers that I don't even know their names, other Boston lawyers. Plus there's paying the witnesses. I'm sure ARCA is not going to do it for free. Dr. Marie Russell probably will, because she's such an awesome Bostoner. But there's a lot. There's a lot that she has to do. And there's multiple trials here.
Yes. Sorry, Nan. The music's so loud I can't even hear him.
I'm
so
sorry.
Don't mind me.
I'm sorry. Let me turn it down.
No,
again.
no, we'll forget it now. We're about to close it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry.
About that.
It gets distracting when we go into conversation. That's why I didn't even hear you say.
Yeah, let me know when it's that loud. I mean,
I can. Yeah. No,
How's
now
this?
I can
Is that
hear
good?
you much better.
I apologize, Bea and chat, for having the music too loud. Work husband and work wife are fighting. Ah! I don't know. We're gonna battle it out. I'm hiring Nan Gallagher to be my work husband.
I'm going pro bono. I'll beat your ass.
There you go.
Anyways, that was the first time I swore on the show. There you go.
All right. You're fired. So, thanks a lot. Love you guys. We appreciate you. As Julie said, if you would hit the like button for us, we would really appreciate that. And that's all you really needs to do, right?
Yes, I'm saucy. I've been on stream. Listen, I have been
4
on
hours.
YouTube for 3. I'm a little over 3 hours.
Wow.
So literally.
Yeah.
So.
And 3, I am very cranky after 3 hours of me being on here. I support Karen.
I don't even sit this much when I'm working my real job. I usually would have walked up, gotten up off my seat.
We will be seeing you guys soon. Like I said, we have something big planned. It's just
right, but tell them about Wednesday.
Oh yeah, jeez, thank you. Okay. All right, so Wednesday we have a Bigfoot show. Bea and I are having law enforcement officer Rich Germeau. Rich was a law enforcement officer at the federal, local, and county level in Washington State. He's also a Marine Corps law enforcement officer, and he is a Bigfoot experiencer. Along with Rich, we are going to have Sibylla Irwin back, who is amazing. So, Nan, if you haven't been here for some Bigfoot content, and please pass the pepper, I want both y'all back here. And Jim Myers. Jim Myers is the owner of Sasquatch Outpost here in Bailey, Colorado. And we're going to interview Rich about the incredible experiences that he's had. Rich has had some of the most amazing Bigfoot experiences I've heard of. In addition, what else are we having? We're having a UFO guest, Christopher Sharp, next weekend. Next Sunday will be Christopher Sharp. He is one of the best UFO journalists in the world. He also writes for the Daily Mail. Christopher will be here about, I want to say it's going to be, is it 6 p.m. your time or 4 p.m. Bea? I don't remember. But
so I think this Wednesday, I think you put it for 9 p.m., right?
Sunday.
Okay,
Sunday.
no, I know.
Yeah, we'll see you guys Wednesday. It's going to be late, 9 p.m. like she
9
says.
9 p.m. Eastern.
And that's based on Rich's availability.
Yep, that's fine. And then
look, please, Master Pepper says for fuck's sake. She says, okay, for you, DJ. It's going to be good. I'm telling you, Rich has some great experiences with Bigfoot, man. I mean, he's living out there in rural Washington. So you screwed my brain every time. Go for a walk in the woods. Thinking about it. Dude, I think the same thing. You think I don't have the same issues? So yeah. So Bigfoot on Wednesday, UFOs on Sunday, and then UFOs again next week, and then Bea and I will have something going on. We're gonna plan something for you, but we also Dennis knows about this. We'll get Nan on this. We got something big. Okay.
Okay. Right. You better quit it before your mouth keeps going. And you give it away.
There you go. Look at that.
Oh, cool.
All right. On behalf
of
Boston,
everyone.
This is DJ saying peace out, one love. We'll see you soon. And thank you so much. Thank you, Jules, and everybody who just gives us so much support. We appreciate you. One love.